So I think I see myself more comfortable playing with my teammates, more comfortable reading them and how they play in their style and kind of where they are most effective. And I think it's vice versa too. So I think that's where I've seen the most growth.
But yeah, you got that offensive rebounding and, assist the type of three. How was you feeling, with that and then your team celebrating you?
Yeah, I mean it's always good to be able to make a play like that for your team. Obviously struggled from the floor the rest of the game, but glad I was able to kind of corral that and make that one count. But yeah, I mean it's good to be able to get experience and have my teammates' support is huge.
And then also, we had took a toll before the game, so I figured I would ask you guys, what is Blaze?
That's like a common question we get. I don't know. I think
a creature,
I used to
right?
say a monster, but now I've transitioned to a bear-ish. I don't know.
Creature.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Creature.
Okay.
Creature.
Maggie?
For you, Liv, what was going through your head when you saw William make that, the bucket to tie the game to go into overtime?
I was hyped. I'm like, okay, let's go. Chance at overtime, chance to get the game and stuff. But I mean, Leah's been working her ass off the whole season, just behind the scenes and stuff. So I mean, it's not a surprise. She comes in, she does her role, she does her job, she does all the little things like that, and it's just no surprise to me. And then come up with the last bucket like that. I'm like, that's Leah, that's her. Yeah.
Look, can you just talk about what it meant in the second unit to play that second half and get done what you got done and what that does for the unit going into the playoffs?
I think it's a good experience for us. I think it helps build confidence, especially going into playoffs like this where, like our vets have been talking about, it's a different beast. And, us on the bench, us younger players, we haven't been through it yet. So I think just these games give us the time on the court to really kind of get out little nerves, maybe jitters, work on our game, work on, our reads, our offense. Playing together is huge. And so I think that it just helps us prepare in that way.
And could both of you, obviously the ballots for MVP are due today, so can you just tell us a little bit about what AT has meant, not just on the court, but to you guys off the court with her experience and why you guys think she is a good candidate for that?
I mean, I think for my position, it's really us as the post players. So I've been able to really kind of study her this season, just watch all the little things that she does on the court. And it's been a huge just learning experience for me. And I think, her as a vet, she's provided such great leadership on and off the court. So, the stuff that you guys see is not even half of it, just little things she does, when, we're getting ready for practice, locker room, training room, whatever it is, she's always that way. So I think having that consistency from a leader like that has been so valuable for us. And you guys are able to see it on the court, but it just goes to show, what kind of person and player she is.
Yeah, I think going off of that, I mean, you look at impact, the three top candidates that you're talking about. I mean, you look at their impact, and AT comes out every single night, and I mean, she leads our team defensively, offensively, and like Liv said, off the court. She does the little things, whether that's just bringing her passion, holding people accountable. I think the biggest thing for me is just the standard that she holds people to. It's it can be frustrating in the moment, but I mean, she's gonna make you better, yeah. So I think she brings the best out of you, and that's why AT for MVP. Yeah.
Liv, when you found out you were coming to Connecticut, like what were your thoughts? Like you had only been in the league 1 year, and then to switch teams, and was it hard to get to fit in a little bit, or was it easy with this group of people? Like, how's it been?
I think kind of going off my answer from before, I mean, it's hard coming in, your second year like that, but first year on a new team like this, especially one that's kind of a little bit more established with their older players. But I think they've done a great job of kind of just guiding me through the ropes this season, their leadership, just kind of, like the learning experiences. And for me, it's just taking it all in and being a sponge of what they have to say. But I mean, even getting the news coming back, I mean, in a league like this, you can't, really be upset for too long about situations like that. It's just kind of like, okay, what's next? And, business is business. So that's the approach I try and take with it, or I did take with it. And I think just coming into this new circumstances and this new team has been great. This is my first playoffs. I'm super excited. And so I'm just ready to get started with it, honestly.
And not to bring up a bad topic, but you sat out a game a couple games ago, and ever since then, when you came back, you've been like kind of on fire. Was it just like kind of a learning experience, or just like to get things straightened out a little bit, or?
For sure, I think it's part of the ups and downs of just being a young player like this. But I think my mindset going with it was not to pout, not to overthink it, not to have any negative thoughts with it, but what can I really take from this and then continue to grow. And so that's always been my mindset with it. It's just kind of moving forward, take what I can, and how can I contribute to the team and what we have playing that night, or who we have playing that night, and just what we're doing. And so that's always been my focus, my mindset with it, and that's not going to change.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did some really good things. I felt like made some timely plays. Just ran out of gas in overtime, and it was important for us to be able to get some quality rest too, heading into the playoffs with such a tight turnaround. So now it's really locking in. It's really hard in the last 2 weeks of the season when you kind of know where you are. And our group, I think, has responded to that. And now we got to get locked in and ready for the playoffs.
Coach, did you get what you wanted out of the second unit there, especially in the second half, and what do you think that does for their confidence?
I think it does a lot for their confidence, because a lot of times when you're in the second unit, you don't get the opportunity to play through things the same way that you do when you just get extended time like that. So I think it's going to help us, down the road, certainly. Would have liked to have had a little bit better of a defensive effort in the third quarter. I felt like they had us in rotation. They were moving the ball really easily. They got some wide open looks. I think they hit 5 threes in the third. So would have liked to have a little bit better defensive effort. But the way they responded in the fourth, particularly in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the fourth, I thought was exceptional.
Leah Brown came up huge for you guys. What was it like to see her just make that overtime bucket?
That was big. I mean, the thing about Leah is she's gonna bust her butt. She's gonna play hard. And Leah, I think, has a chance to be a really good player in this league. She's unfortunately a victim of circumstance, who she's playing behind right now, but also experience. And I think her getting out there and getting in game experience, you can see that she's not a player who sits on the bench and pouts. I mean, she's ready to go, and she plays with multiple levels of effort. She knows one way. So I was really pleased with her, and that was a big time bucket to stay in the play and continue to get after it.
Coach, the MVP votes are due today, and obviously you've been asked about this a lot. Can you talk about AT? And I mean, when you come to a team that has a star, they can make it difficult for a new head coach. Can you just talk about what she's meant to you as a coach and to this team?
Yeah, I think that AT has so many qualities about her, but one of the things that I respect the most is just what kind of competitor she is. She is somebody who busts her butt every time that she's on the floor. She competes at a high level. She plays hard. She's always all in. And sometimes, players have a tendency to sort of ebb and flow depending upon certain circumstances, and she does not. I could tell by watching her that she had a high IQ, but that doesn't really give a true indication until you get here and you just kind of see her practice and play every day. Her basketball IQ is off the charts. I think you see that in leading the league in assists from a forward position. There's a reason that we put the ball in her hands a lot, that we allow her to facilitate, that we encourage that facilitating. She makes the right play. She makes the right reads. And she's a nightmare to have to play against, I'm sure. But we're fortunate to be able to have her on our team. And, I just, when you look at the totality of what she's been able to do, to me, she's the MVP.
Any other questions? Also agree with that. I mean, a shake up for everybody. Everybody needs to step up. What have you seen specifically from Liv since her kind of taking over
I think the biggest thing for Liv is just gaining confidence every day, being a little bit more self-assured every day. I think she's improved defensively. It's a challenge, she going against experienced post players. Learning how to play one-on-one defense. We don't want to have to give as much help if we don't have to, but also have to keep in mind that she's still a second-year player, right? And what do we have to do to help her along those lines? I've been really pleased with her offensive growth and development. Her ability to find open spaces. She understands that she's a complementary piece to what we do, and she has become a great off-ball screener. She finds the space when she can roll to the rim. She makes herself available. She's done a really good job, I think, on the glass as well. You see that she works on that 17-foot jump shot every day, beginning to shoot it with confidence as well, and more aggressive in her post moves. I think that Liv's going to be a really good player in this league for a long time, and it's tough for us sometimes just to remember that she's a second-year player, but I feel like her growth and development has been really good.
Any other questions? Vicky?
You sat Liv for a game like a few games ago, and she, like, speaking of like not sulking, like she came back kind of with a vengeance a little bit. Like today, she blocked that last shot, to force overtime. She really responded. Was that just to kind of help her get things straightened out?
No, there wasn't anything other than she had a few games in a row where she just was struggling in the pick and roll defense. And then the matchup with who we played, I don't even remember who it was at the moment, but I remember the matchup I just didn't like because they were running a lot of pick and rolls.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a lot of practice time to address it. And it just happened to be the nature of the beast. I think Betty played that game and played pretty well. It's tough. It would be tough with AT playing a lot of minutes, to have Betty and Liv, playing together, or off of one another. So, I think she was just a victim of circumstance at that point. But to her credit, she got with Abby. She worked, getting shots up. She worked watching film, and then we had an opportunity to practice and really address some of those areas of slippage. She did address them, and she got better, and she's been really good ever since. And we're gonna need her to continue to be really good for us.
And do you have initial reactions? I guess you match up with Minnesota for Wednesday. Do you have like an initial reaction to getting to face them?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that they're a lot like us, and how they play, and that they're small. I think we match up really well, and I also know that Cheryl's a great coach. And she's going to have something different than what we've seen already in the matchups that we've had against them before. So we have to be prepared for that. We got to try to think outside the box. I mean, the playoffs are the ultimate chess match. Any team that continues to just be the same is not going to be very successful. So, trying to go back in the bank to all the years we've played Minnesota, and I've been coaching, and Bree's been coaching, and just think about things that they might be able to do. But more than anything for us, we just, no matter who our opponent is, we've got to be able to compete at a high level on the defensive end of the floor. We've got to be great rebounders. We've got to shore up some things offensively, and we got to be shot makers. It's going to take 5-6 players in double figures for us offensively to be successful. So we'll continue to. I thought tonight was really good for us to get rest. Hopefully everybody can get some recovery, and we'll be ready to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.